everyone. Thank you for coming today. You can stay as you are, whether that's seated or laying on your back. We'll start practice like we normally do with some good old breathing. So we'll continue a little bit off of what we were working on last week with the continuous conscious breathing. So that's going to look like as soon as you get to the top of the breath, you immediately start to exhale. As soon as you get to the bottom of the breath, you immediately start to inhale. And so you go all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. And you start getting into a nice rhythm with yourself. You might even add in a count. So maybe that count will be 4 on the inhale, 4 on the exhale. And we'll do that count together. I'll lead the count so you can kind of join in as you wish, or if you'd like to increase your length of time, maybe doing an 8 count or a 6 count or a 10 count, 12 count. You can feel free to do that too, just using your own mental counting in your head. So when you're ready, just take a moment and notice your body. Noticing how your body is connected to the floor. Noticing some of the space around your body, maybe just outside the arms, just outside the legs, the knees, maybe around the neck, the head, the hair. Going even wider, noticing the space around you, remembering the sides of the walls, roof, people. Bringing the attention back inside the body by centering on the breath. So noticing where the inhale and the exhale moves inside the body. Whenever you breathe in, you want to expand through the low back, through the sides of the body, the front of the belly. The ribs get nice and big on the inhale. And then on the exhale, everything comes back together as the spine gets a little bit taller. The inhale expands wide through the low back, the sides, the front, the ribs. And the exhale sews it all together and lengthens through the spine. Inhale, low back, sides, front, and ribs. And then the exhale gets a little bit longer. Now we're going to get into that continuous conscious breathing. So you can follow along with my count when you're ready. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 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 out, in, out. Good. Continue with your own count. Experimenting, maybe even going up to 6. Maybe going to 8. increase the numbers, the breath gets smoother, slower, but still continuous. Mind wanders, bringing it back to the count, back to the breath. We've got a few more cycles left. Let yourself just come back to normal breathing, just noticing how your body feels. Maybe starting to bring some movement in, any movement that you might need. The reason that we're practicing this conscious, continuous breath is because whenever we're feeling states of stress, if we can be continuously breathing while we're in that state of stress, it can help process that moment for us. It can help process some of the emotions that would go into it that normally when we would hold our breath would get unintegrated. Those emotions wouldn't necessarily get processed through the system. They get stuck, held up somewhere in our body, and then they don't come out until later on, or they're holding us back in different forms and different ways. And this conscious, continuous, connected breathing can allow us to process some of that material, to let it flow through more smoothly. It also allows us to change states a lot faster. So if we are in a state of stress and we want to get back to a state of happiness, or we're looking to move through and be present with a state of sadness or grief, we can use this conscious connected breathing to be in that moment instead of trying to, instead of unconsciously avoiding it. So it's a really powerful breath, and we will play around with that one a little bit throughout today's practice too, as well as as we're coming into our relaxation stage, we'll play with a vibration with our breathing that can really help relax the system down too. But for now, we're gonna do our spinal warm-up. So if you're lying down on your back, I'd invite you to wiggle the toes, the arms, the legs, and taking your time, bringing yourself into a seated position. If you're already in that seated position, you can come ahead and join me. I'm going to invite you to take your hands down to the bottoms of your shins, starting at the base of your spine. As you inhale, you're going to rock the pelvis forward, and as you exhale, you're going to rock it gently backwards. So the inhale rocks it forwards, and the exhale rocks it backwards. So these movements don't have to be huge and dramatic. They can be if that's what you're feeling right now, but they don't have to be. Often when I'm doing this practice, you're working with the spine here, so often when I'm doing this practice, they're just little micro moves. And the biggest thing that you want to do here is sync it up with the breath. So as you breathe in, the pelvis extends. It's like you're rocking forward on the butt bones, and as you exhale, it's like you're just rocking along on the back bones. And when your hands are down by the ankle, it allows you to focus a little bit more on those movements in the pelvis. And you can move the hands up a little bit up the shins, so starting to move more from the belly button and just above the belly button, the sternum. The inhale brings the sternum forward, the exhale brings it backward. Now the pelvis still moves with the sternum, but the focus of our attention is now at the center of the body. feeling ready, you can move the hands closer to the knees or right on the knees, and still moving from the sternum, or maybe moving from the chest or the shoulder blades, the collarbones. Squeezing all the little bits of trapped air out of the body and pulling in new, fresh air. Yeah, really good. We got about 10 seconds left, 30 seconds. So see what you can do for this last little bit. See if you can move really, really slowly, keeping the same pace of breath, but moving really, really small in one part of the body. Maybe picking the chest or the sternum or the pelvis. Just moving that spot. Smaller and smaller, and then really localizing in on that spot. For me, it's in the chest. For you, notice where it is. And just pulse that spot in and out a couple times, kind of like you're bouncing. Get subtler and subtler in the movements, so that you can feel the movement happening on the inside, but on the outside it looks like less and less movements happening until it looks almost like you're still. But on the inside, you're still moving like a vibration. Awesome. That's really good training for the brain to bring the attention pretty deep inside your body. Great work. So you're going to take your arms now and you're going to place them up on the shoulders, the elbows squeeze back. And we're going to start to twist this part of the spine. So turning to the left and the right, back and forth and back and forth. Speed doesn't matter as much as smoothness does. So finding the end range and then staying just inside of that. We don't want to go too far where we pull something. We want to just play within our range of comfort and just gently expand into that. And if you want to synchronize your breathing, every time you breathe move to your left, you breathe in, and move to your right, you breathe out. Good. This is kind of like a washcloth sort of method when you're draining out some of the water on the inside. It's kind of doing that for our ribs. Our ribs get so stuck. Good, and then when you're ready, you can bring yourself back to balance. Reach the arms up in the air, and you're going to shake the hands out. And shake them, shake them, shake them until you can actually vibrate your body. You want to feel your butt shake onto the ground. You're shaking through the hands so hard. Good, and then you can drop them down. And now we're going to roll the shoulders a few times and then drop into some shoulder shrugs and drops. So the inhale brings them up, exhale drops them down. You can join in when you're ready. And then inhale up and exhale down. Just take the hands, place them out by your sides. Let the head fall to one side. We're going to do a deep stretch for the neck. And then the other side. I'm going to go back and forth a couple times. You can go at your own pace here. Some people like to inhale as they get to the center and then exhale into the stretch. Going for about 3 per side. And then Once you've finished your 3, you're going to turn all the way to one direction and then turn to the other direction. And after about 3, you'll bring yourself back to center, tuck the chin, and then roll the head all the way around for one direction. Gonna go 3 times. And then 3 times the other way. Good, and then bringing yourself to center once you're done there. There's no rush, but join in when you're ready. Gonna take one arm down on the floor and the other arm's gonna extend up, and keeping both hips grounded into the floor. So we're grounded into the floor. If we're slooping over, hold on a second. Let's try and keep them square and then reach, keeping the hips square. We can stretch this really important muscle on the side of the core, but it also runs through the low back, attaches to the pelvis. And then we'll go to the other side. You can go back and forth a couple times, still keeping the pelvis grounded. Just being nice and gentle with yourself. It's not about how deep you go, you just want to be able to feel the stretch, stretching the skin and the fascia. Creating openness and bringing fluid in there so that the brain can better communicate. If we're not hydrated, if we don't have water in the tissues, then our brain can't really talk to that part of the body. We can't tell what's going on in there. So it might just send us signals. Okay, pay attention inside now. Sending some pain signals up. And after this one more, if you want to do another one, you can. Feel free. Bringing yourself back to center and just taking a moment to see where you're at. Good. As always, guys, my voice is just a cue. It's just a guide. So if you do feel like doing your own thing at any time, doing any variations of the stretches, you want to continue for longer because you're working on something, I personally think it's very important that you do so. So please do, and it'll be very accepted. But now we're going to come into the standing portion of our practice. So we're going to start things off nice and slow. So you can just come to a standing position however you wish. We're going to start things off nice and slow, and we're going to start with a level 1, and then we're going to build up to a level 2 and a level 3. So we're going to do the warrior flow, which some of you guys have experienced before. We're going to touch on all 3 of the different warriors. So from now, you're going to just come to the front side of your mat, and then you're going to take one leg and step it back. Doesn't matter which, we're going to be playing with both sides. So both of your feet are going to be on parallel tracks. It's like you're balancing on a train track. Front knee stacked on top of your front ankle, maybe just behind. Then your hips, you want to check in with your hips. Where is it aiming? You want them both to be aiming on the same train track, okay? And you're going to reach the arms up. An option here is you can invite in a slight back bend if you'd like, but the trick is to keep your pelvis where it is. Maybe slight arch if you need to, but you don't want it to start to change its position, or you don't want to kind of collapse through the spine. You want to keep some integrity, some length, some strength and stability, so you're protecting the spine. So reaching the arms up. Good. I really love hearing all of that breathing, keeping focused on the breathing. So this pose here is going to be, once we incorporate it into a flow, this is going to be the inhale. So really feel what it feels like at the top of the inhale. Inhale and all the way to the top. Good. And inhale, and as you inhale, see if you can inhale even some more to feel that expansion, the max of this pose. Good. Yeah, awesome. So you're really embodying this pose. One more time, big, big inhale. Great. And then as you exhale, you're going to pivot your back heel, ideally pivoting on the pinky toe knuckle, if you can swing it. Big toe knuckle works too, but pinky toe knuckle on the back, that's going to be your best pivot. And you're going to drop the hands down, and you can kind of adjust yourself so you can find yourself into a nice warrior two. So you can always feel free to adjust. Sometimes feet feel better closer, sometimes further away. So then, again, front knee stays strong over top of the front heel, pressing the foot into the ground, this time pressing the foot to the ground and shooting it forward, and your back foot pressing it down and shooting it backward. It's like you're trying to pull the mat apart. Then the arms, the eyes can look out over the front hand. Good. You can play around with the position here. Does it feel better to lean forward? Does it feel better to lean back? Where is balance for you? Once you find your stability here, center on the breath, and this time focus on the exhale. So it's the exhale that we're going to be playing in this pose. Good. So feeling the stillness at the bottom of the exhale. Then you're going to turn your front hand up, back hand drops down, feet stay the same. Slight inward motion from the feet as the arm reaches up. Might even want to straighten through the front side of the legs slowly. Good. Staying here at the top of the inhale, feeling this pose, feeling what this feels like. And then the exhale brings you back down to a warrior two. We're going to flow right through into an extended side angle, so you're going to catch the next exhale and extend your back arm over top of your front leg, reaching towards the front of the room. Safest and easiest if this front arm is just on the thigh. Okay. And then the next time that you inhale, using the core, keeping the belly button in, bringing yourself back up to a warrior two. Good. And then as you exhale, you're going to reach the arms forward and come to stand. Okay? And that's the flow. So we're going to get into it. We're going to do it a little bit faster on the other side, but we're still going to slow it down for the first round or two, and then we'll increase the pace. So coming into the opposite side, checking in again, train tracks. Checking in with the hips, making sure they're in the same direction. Getting the arms up, really opening up through the front side of the body. We get really tight through here, so we want to open up through this space, creating lots of length. We want to be able to breathe big through this area here. Checking in, are the shoulders crunching the ears? Do we have some space for the neck? Long and tall. Good, and just one more big inhale, pause for a moment at the top and feel that expansion. And then when you exhale, pivoting on the back foot, pulling it out to the side, and dropping down into your warrior two. So it might feel good to extend the front knee a little bit further forward, or maybe you like to keep it on top of the ankle. See what feels right for you. Really playing with the exhale here, you're softening into the motion. The warriors are strong, and they're strong through their ability to be soft. When we're hard and rigid, things break. But when you're soft, you're adaptable, and that's where strength really is. When you're ready, you can catch your next inhale, going to come into a humble warrior. If you wish to, you can lock the front knee. Open up a little bit more stretch to the front side body, but safer if you keep the knee bent. Depends on what feels best in your body, okay? Then catching your next exhale, warrior two, maybe even passing right on through warrior two into an extended side angle. Long reach from fingertips to the sides of the foot. Big stretch. When you're ready, reaching your top arm up and back to warrior two. And then catching a exhale, reaching the arms forward, shift the weight, and stand. Finish up. Really good. Okay, so we're going to pick up the pace a little bit, but we're going to do it on the other side now. So you can feel free to join in. If you want to take more time at any of the poses, you know what's coming next, so feel free to flow on your own, okay? So you get into a nice warrior one stance. Inhale the arms up, nice and strong. We're going to go 2 breaths here. And then focusing your attention to your back foot on the pinky toe, doing your best to pivot from that section. Whoa! Nice. Sinking down to the warrior 2, 2 breaths. Catching your next inhale, lifting the front hand up, back arm down, staying nice and integral through the core with the belly button in. Catching your next exhale, coming into warrior 2 or right on through to extended side angle. Ride your next inhale, top arm comes up and back, leading you up to stand. And then catch your next exhale, reaching forward, shifting the weight forward, and step. Nice job. Okay, great. Other foot back, warrior 1, 2 breaths. Catching your next exhale to warrior 2. 2 breaths. Really good. Next inhale to humble warrior, getting nice and long. Big space in the front hip, and then exhale right on through this time, right to a side angle. Great job, nice. Nailing it. And then inhale, back to a warrior 2. Doing great. Exhale, reach the arms, transition the weight, and step yourself forward. Good. Okay, so now we're going to do it 1 breath per motion, okay? So you can follow along to the best. Again, if you want to stay at any point, feel free to stay at any point, okay? And then you can catch up or join in whenever you wish. So warrior 1, so the inhale brings the arms up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, humble warrior. Exhale, extended side. Long through the side. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, reach, transition, and step. Great. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, humble warrior. Exhale, extending through the side. Inhale, warrior 2. And exhale, reach. Good. So we're going to add on a level at the end here, where as we step forward, if you wish, you can add in a warrior here. Pause for a moment, then exhale to stand tall. So you take a full breath, take a full breath at the end, holding yourself in a balance. It can be a light balance. You can have different positions along the way, or you can go full on and try and get into the extension, and we'll stay there for a breath at the end, okay? If that's too much, you can always do your step through. That's going to be really strong for the balance as well. When you're ready, step the foot back, catch your inhale, ride the arms up. You're riding your own breath. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, humble. Front arm comes up. Exhale, back arm comes over. Inhale, warrior two, coming back to center. Exhale, stepping forward and balance for warrior three, or step through, and then step through. Great job. Nice. Great. Okay, other leg. Inhaling up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, front arm comes up. Nice stretch through the front. Exhale, now stretching through the back arm. Yeah, good. Inhale back to center, warrior two. Exhale, balance. Awesome, exhale to finish. Good. Okay guys, we're gonna do one more run through. So give it your all here. One more on each side. So inhale all the way up. See if you can inhale any more. My voice is but a guide. Really feel and flow with your voice now, with your breath. Exhaling to warrior two. Feel it. Inhaling, front arm up. Next exhale, back arm comes across. There's no rush. Flowing with your breath, making as long as you can. Inhaling to warrior two. And exhaling for a full breath in your balance pose or stepping through. Good. And finish. Other side. You're doing really great. Inhaling up. All the way to the top, exhaling all the way to the bottom. See if you can get out any air. Really sink in here. Inhaling, humble warrior. And then exhaling, reaching, getting all the air out. Inhaling, warrior two. And exhaling to reach. Nice job. Exhale and step through. Take a moment and just feel into your body now. Just noticing how you feel. Good. That was a lot of tension for the body. So what we're going to do now is shake off some of that tension. So you can drop through the hands, starting the motion, just dropping through the hands and the arms. Maybe even bouncing through soft knees. Maybe you can get all the meaty parts of the body, just trying to shake all the parts right off the bone. Maybe shaking strong through the legs. Taking all that tension out. Yeah, nice. Good. Okay, if it feels right, maybe some twists to the side will feel good. Just to release some tension left in the hips and just keep some of that fluid moving healthily through there. And then when you're ready, you can find yourself some stillness. Again, there's no rush, just taking a few breaths and feeling where you are. So whenever we're doing intense bouts of exercise, for example, but also intense bouts of life, there's a very powerful breathing technique that we can do that involves sound and can quickly relax our system. So I'm going to invite you to do this with me. I'll demonstrate it first and then we can join in all together. It's called the Physiological Sigh. So you're going to inhale deeply through the nose all the way to the top, and then you're going to inhale even more. So we're really sucking more air in and expanding the lungs, and then we're going to exhale at the mouth. And you want to make it a visceral vibration when you do, okay? So it'll look like this. So join in when you can. 3 more. 2 more. Good. 1 more. All the way out. All the way, all the way, all the way. Awesome. So that'll probably feel pretty good. That's a nice one. That'll bring you down. If you're in a stressful situation, go do that 6 times. That'll put you in a pretty good place. Okay, my friends, we're going to bring it back down to the mat. So when you're ready, you can come down as you please, lying the back on the floor, using the elbows to adjust the back, using the heels to adjust the low spine. You're going to bring one knee into the chest. You're going to draw it side to side a few times just to release the glutes, to release any tension in the front of the hip. Maybe you want to draw it in some circles. And then with your opposite leg, you want the foot to be on the floor, the knee to be the sky, so you can cross the hip that you're circling over top of the resting thigh. You want your ankle to be on top. So we're in a figure 4 position. So you can push your ankle into the top of the thigh and create some tension in the hip that you're stretching. Option, of course, to bring that knee in closer towards the body too. Gets a little bit deeper. Good. You can stay here for another moment, or you can bring the knee into the chest and draw 1 or 2 last circles, and then we're going to change sides. So opposite knee into the chest, starting with side to sides, and then growing into circles, and then bigger circles, and seeing maybe there's a spot that feels a little bit stickier than others, so maybe you want to stay there for a little while. Maybe you want to reverse the direction. Just exploring your body. Every body is different. When you're ready, you can cross the ankle over the opposite thigh. Create some pressure to stretch deeper into the hip. Option to lift that knee to get even deeper into the hip. Keep the movement going a little bit. And option to stay here or bring it back to the circles for 1 or 2 more circles. Bringing both feet down towards the floor, going to get you to lift the hips up to the sky and then lower them back down to the mat, and do that 3 times total, just to rebalance the hips, noticing the tension in the glutes and the back of the leg, the butt cheeks. See if you can get as light and as gentle through the movement as possible. After about 3 to 5 reps, you can extend the legs out in front of you. Let the eyes close, let the tongue fall into the bottom of the jaw so it's no longer touching the roof of the mouth. And you can breathe here. the space to stay for another 5 minutes or so, I invite you to stay for as long as you wish. If you do have to get out of here at 12:50, that time is now. And so you can start to bring some movement through the limbs, gently awaken your body before pressing yourself up and getting back to the day. If you have the time to stay for a little longer, I encourage you to do so. There's a space in you that's the same as the space that's in me. And when we both are existing in that space, together we are one. Namaste. I wish you a powerful rest of the week. May you always live in peace and always be in love.